So that was about Denisov and how you can arrive at the right answer. So now let's move to the second question. So this is a question on multi-drug resistance. So which of the following are the reasons for the occurrence of multi-drug resistance in microbial pathogens in India? So that is a question. So these are some of the options. One is genetic predisposition of some people, taking incorrect doses of antibiotics to cure diseases, using antibiotics in livestock farming, multiple chronic diseases in some people. So you have to select the right answer from the set of options given below. So I hope all of you know about what multi-drug resistance is. That is something which all of us would know with very minimal of preparation. So the question is asking us to identify the reasons for occurrence of this multi-drug resistance. So we know that the biggest reason for multi-drug resistance is that reckless or misguided use of antibiotics for maybe for smaller diseases, or maybe you might not complete the entire course. So you get the pathogen get exposed to these antibiotics, and they eventually build immunity, and eventually most of the normal antibiotics won't be functional. So that is the issue of multi-drug resistance. So one thing is misuse of antibiotics to cure diseases. Another thing is misuse of antibiotics in as poultry feed to fatten up the poultry which we buy from the market. So that is one another reason why this multi-drug resistance occurs. So looking in that way, option 2 and 3 are obvious reasons. We know that. But genetic predisposition of some people. But I don't think you can think of any logic to connect genetic predisposition of some people to antibiotic resistance, right? Antibiotic resistance is what is actually happening. Our body won't be responding to some antibiotics because our body already has been exposed to maybe some bacteria like that, and has gained immunity over those antibiotics. That is the idea. So this is not something that you are genetically supplied with. This is something you acquire as you get exposed to this. So it's just an adaptation that is happening in our physiology, and it has got nothing to do with genetics. So option 1 can be easily eliminated. 2 and 3 has to be right. Okay. Then a fourth option is the one that would put you in a kind of a fix. So you have two options, 2 and 3, or 2, 3 and 4. So between that, it would be kind of tricky. You have to do some more, you have to bring some more thought process if you want to make a correct answer at this point. So multiple chronic diseases in some people. Do you think that by any way having multiple chronic diseases would cause antibiotic resistance? Let us imagine. So a particular person is having maybe what you call some cardiovascular diseases. Then he might be having cholesterol. Then what you call, he might be having maybe some kind of allergies or something. Okay. Then there could be some muscular issues. Then there could be some neuronal issues. So these are all set of diseases a single person can have, and most of this could be chronic in itself. So what would happen when you have a set of diseases, a different set of diseases? You would have to be given medicines for all of these things, right? So normally, if most of these are antibiotic diseases, say most of these are not diseases which would respond to antibiotics, but if you have a set of chronic diseases which would respond to antibiotics, you would be generally given some broad spectrum antibiotics, because you can't have a separate antibiotic for each of the diseases, right? Because your body won't be in a condition to manage so much of antibiotics, so you would be given some broad spectrum. So many what do you call, so your body or your bodily systems eventually gain resistance to this set of antibiotics because you have been exposed to it so many times. So that is one way you can think about how multi-drug resistance can affect, right? So I think even if you don't know it in a technical manner, but you can still maybe come up with that logic, right? I think that is something you can easily deduce from our idea of antibiotic resistance and you having a set of diseases. Okay, even when you have having a single disease and you are taking an antibiotic for that, you can have antibiotic resistance. Then what would be the situation when you have a set of diseases for which you will have to take so much medicine? Maybe that simple logic should work. So if you think in that sense, 2, 3, and 4 should be the right answer in this context. So question 2, the right answer would be option D. Okay.